Thank you so much for joining us, whether watching RFD TV, many tuning in on Rural Radio, Channel 147 on Sirius XM. And as Christina says, our last update in the grain and livestock trade. Let's get started and go over to the board and look at corn, first of all, and up until or leading into the day today, here 4 sessions in a row. Looks like it may be 5 in a row as we head into another 2 days before the Christmas break. But we'll check in with our friends at CME Group, see what they think. But down another 2.5 as we sit this moment. March down to 347 3/4. I want to go all the way down to that December new crop. Keep an eye on that now. Below the 380 level, 379 1/4. That is down at 2.5 cents. Soybean or the soybean trade getting a bounce from a sale to China this morning. Another one yesterday didn't move the market here. It's weather in South America. And by the way, more estimates coming out, private estimates and those within. So the Brazil and country and Argentina putting out their estimates as well. Big crops get bigger. We are higher, but just barely hanging on to the positive side of things here in the soybean trade. Let's go to Chicago. One last look as we head to the top of the hour. Our good friend Todd Horwitz, Bubba Trading, BubbaTrading.com with us here. And Todd, looks like things could get really slow in here volume-wise tomorrow and Friday.
Hi, Mark. They could get slow. They're already at a crawl,
right.
And it looks like they might even get worse. I can't take a lot of what's going on in these markets right now. It's extremely thin. I think we watched some key levels. I think the biggest thing to watch today is the soybeans because they are at critical levels here. And I did not, when you and I talked this morning, they were up 5 or 6 cents, and they really failed from there. And that is a concern. I think if you're watching Jan, we've got to hold 10. If you're watching March, you've got to hold 10-10. And if we violate those by any major amount, I think it's going to be very ugly. However, I would hope to see we get back over 1030 basis March, and then I'd be back to being comfortable and wanting to be an owner again.
I would think there'd be it seemed like there'd be a lot of buyers who would want to step in here if you put a 9 in front of any one of those contracts.
Well, I think you might see it. The real problem is there's a lack of interest right now.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of new money going on. The floors, all pits are basically silent right now. If you've even watching the Dow, I know we talked about this morning, it's in a range. It hasn't moved more than 20 points on a 20,000 point index. So it's really extremely quiet, and there will be some fresh money coming in, but I don't think quite so quickly today.
Very good. And back to the corn trade. I mentioned in the corn market under pressure 4 days in a row, 4 sessions going into the day. Looks like it might be 5 in a row, Todd.
I think that's a very good possibility, but I think, again, we have a real solid base in corn, and 345, I've been using 350 the last few days, but 345 is really the overall support. So until we violate that, I'm really very comfortable, and I'm still an owner and want to be an owner of corn because I think we're going higher from here. All
right, and then the wheat trade. Now, without any weather issues, especially here, hard to see any sort of any sort of positive news that wheat can hang on.
The only positive news is that I like them, okay? I think wheat is going to go higher. Again, I think wheat has been really overdone. I think we're going to see a lot of things spill out from across the globe that are going to actually bring in a higher demand for wheat down the road. It may not be today or tomorrow, obviously, but it's going to be soon. And I think we're going to see wheat probably be one of the best performers, at least the first half of next year. That's what I'm looking for personally. And I'm also positioned that way. But I am looking for it to work that way. I do think wheat is going to be a big surprise next year because I think we're going to see some much bigger demand outside of the country.
You heard that on December 21st here from Todd Horwitz, looking for better things in wheat next year, first half of next year, maybe the best performer of the group. All right, we're going to take a break and come back and talk about another group, the livestock trade. Todd, see what you think about that. Cattle, feeder cattle, and hogs coming up. Welcome back to Market Day Report. We welcome Todd Horwitz back to our program, Bubba Trading. It's BubbaTrading.com. And Todd, looking at the livestock trade here, boy, no slowdown there. It may be slow trade, but Friday all the numbers are coming out. Cattle on feed, we mentioned that in the quarterly hog and pig report, cold storage report. So a lot of new information for traders as they head to Christmas.
There is, and before I say that, I would just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy holidays.
Thank you.
In case I don't get a chance, my RFD family, all of you there, and all of you listening on XM 147, I think this report could be an issue. Now, you know, I don't follow reports as a rule, but when I'm looking at now is with the real thin volume, this could create what we would call a vacuum in the trade, and I would be set up the way I'd want to be set up going into the number and not try to trade it. It's going to be it could be volatile, but it will be thin. And I think that everybody should be at least now hedging the downside risk, leaving the upside open, because we don't know what's going to happen here. We're seeing very solid moves here. And again, they're befuddling to me that they're going much too higher. I think there's going to be some selling pressure in the beef.
Yeah, you've liked the beef and pork, you call it the space here all along, but you think maybe a little bit too far, too fast? Am I hearing that?
Yeah, no, I definitely think, now I can't sell it here because, again, it could go higher. I don't know how it can go, but I'm looking for a reason to sell it so I can get down and buy a dip later. I think that we're going to see, you know, 112, 110 again in the fat cattle, and maybe even a little bit lower. So that's where I'm looking to buy right now. And up here, I mean, I'm not going to get involved because, again, we're thin and we're continuing to grind higher. It's hard to fight the top and try to pick a top.
Mm-hmm. Now, how does that change when you look at the pork complex? You just intersect or interchange the word cattle with hogs, or is there a different scenario?
Hogs have gone up extremely too fast. There is news here coming, and I'm hearing some rumors about China's been buying a lot of pork as well. I have no factual evidence of that. That's just some of the rumor, but that would make kind of some sense that somebody's buying that we really haven't hit the street yet, and they're loading up because the way in which you went up, the parabolic rise is extremely fast. It cannot succeed and sustain that type of movement. So I'm not going to sell it here yet, but I'm looking for a substantial pullback before I'd even think about buying again.
All right, I want to give the numbers one last time, so we're going to let you go, but hopefully we can have you back tonight in our Rural Evening News and wrap things up for the day.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Todd Horwitz, Bubba Trading, BubbaTrading.com. What a simple website there, and looking forward to helping anyone put a marketing plan together. Here are the numbers one last time. Looking at a higher live cattle trade, February up 55, and again over 116.05 right now. Feeder cattle higher on the day as well. The January up 15 and over the 130 level, 130.15. March over 126, just barely once again, but we are back over 126 at 126.03, up 18. Finally, one last look at the hog trade here. Hog futures higher as well, but again, maybe too far, too fast? Question mark. Todd Horwitz asking the question. February hogs up 78. Bottom line, though, 64.78. That's after a high today, 65.48. We'll watch that as well to the close, and Todd will be with us in our evening news.
All right.